Every year, booktubers like myself predict the 13 books to make the long list for the Booker Prize. So what I've done is I've tallied up our collective opinions, and this is BookTubers' Booker long list. I'd like to think us booktubers know what we're talking about, and as there are more booktubers predicting the long list than there are judges selecting it, if there's a big disagreement, maybe it's the judges that will be wrong. At the time of filming, there are 12 videos predicting the Booker Prize long list on BookTube. They're all linked in the description of this video, so if you like the Booker Prize, subscribe to any channel you're unfamiliar with. The booktubers in question have used a variety of different methods to predict the long list, from analysing spreadsheets to tarot cards, establishing a Booker formula to randomising them all on a wheel, from common sense to gut instinct. But no matter what the method was, 11 in 12 booktubers predicted James by Percival Everett, a Huckleberry Finn retelling that is getting nothing but love, and I don't think anybody viewing this will be particularly shocked to hear that that one was collectively predicted. I'm not going to describe the books in very much details at all in this video. This is much more of a fun curiosity than it is a serious recommendation videos, but if you do want the description, then there are all the links to the videos in the show notes, of course. Now, I've said, and I will keep saying until the judges make a fool out of me, that there are 2 books that every booktuber predicting the long list needs to predict, lest they be denounced as unreliable, and 7 out of 12 booktubers listened to me and included Ngozi Obiama's The Road to the Country. This is Obiama's 3rd book, and his first 2 were shortlisted for this prize, and this is a novel about the Biafran civil war in Nigeria. Also getting an amazing 7 out of 12 booktubers predictions is Praiseworthy by Alexis Wright, a book about donkeys in the outback. This novel is winning all the awards in Australia right now, and the last Aussie to get longlisted in 2016 was J.M. Coetzee, who really is a little bit of a stretch to call an Aussie because he only became one when he was 60. Us Aussies are due an author being longlisted, and could it be Alexis Wright? There are 3 books that 5 booktubers predicted, and I must confess that when I myself made my prediction video and included The Coast Road by Alan Murren, now I'd read it and I thought it was a cracking book, but I thought nobody else is going to predict this book, and how wrong was I? A novel about relationships in a claustrophobic rural Irish town in the 90s. While it's been getting rave reviews, I was a little surprised to see Orbital by Samantha Harvey get so many votes. A day in the life of 6 astronauts orbiting the Earth. That doesn't appeal to me, but I'm intrigued by all the love that it's getting. Maybe it's just an excellently written novel. And the last book to get 5 votes is the soon-to-be-released Alif Shafak novel, There Are Rivers in the Sky. And since there's been a little bit of talk about this forthcoming release, I noticed that the US release date has been brought forward to match the release date in the rest of the world. A book I think a lot of people will be reading regardless of whether it gets Booker longlisted or not. There were 5 books that got 4 votes. My Friends by Hisham Attar won the Orwell Prize for Political Fiction. Of the 5 previous winners of that prize, Claire Keegan's Small Things Like These was shortlisted for the Booker, while Milkman by Anna Burns went all the way and won it. So there's definitely a crossover between the Orwell Prize and the Booker Prize. It does seem like a very logical choice to include Hisham Attar's book. Martyr by K.F. Akbar is not one I predicted, but it is one I've read and I recommend it nonetheless, and it isn't a shock to see it make the cut. I am a little bit more surprised to see the Lost Love Songs of Boise Singh by Ingrid Persaud make the cut. A wonderful book by a wonderful author retelling the story of a famous Trinidadian pirate through the women he loved. It's a book that's completely worth any and all praise that it gets, no matter how big or small, but one that I did expect to go under the radar a bit more, and I'm absolutely delighted that it hasn't. The Night Alphabet by Joelle Taylor is getting a lot of love on BookTube. A novel about a woman getting a tattoo is a bit of a left field choice, but I've literally seen no negative feedback at all about this book. And the last novel to get 4 votes from BookTubers is Andrew O'Hagan's Collodion Road. Perhaps not a surprise to see this, considering O'Hagan is undoubtedly a talented author and has a history with the prize, although there's quite a few talented authors with Booker credentials, and they don't all fit into a 13-book prediction video, which is where we have a slight conundrum with our BookTuber prediction, because we're up to 10 books so far with only 3 spots left. Maybe the ideal solution would be if all 12 of us read these books and then do a live stream where we have a little chat/argument about which 3 should make the long list. And maybe we'll appreciate how hard it is for a group of judges to agree on the final spots of a long list. I guess for like statistical fairness, if we're going to count how many books BookTubers got right, then maybe these next books should only count as half each, which means mathematically we've already missed 1.5 books. Go team! Blackouts by Justin Torres won the National Book Awards last year and comes into this prize with a lot of praise. But it is a book that will appeal to some readers more than others, which is not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to the Booker Prize. Clear by Karis Davis definitely has the quality and the feel of a Booker novel, and maybe it is a little bit unlucky with some of the votes, as there were several other eligible novels with similar feel, themes and settings. The Fertile Earth by Ruth Victor Real is a debut novel that hasn't even been published yet, although it is coming from One World, who has published 3 Booker winners in the last 10 years, as well as winning the National Book Awards in the States and getting a stack of Women Prize listed novels, and generally producing enough amazing novels that you could literally drown in them. The Extinction of Irina Ray by Jennifer Croft is another debut novel. However, Croft is probably the most famous translator in the world at the moment and has written a successful memoir previously, so she's anything but unknown. This novel has definitely excited a lot of us book nerds. Then we have 2 sleuth novels. This Strange Eventful History by Claire Massoud and You Are Here by David Nichols. Now, both have got positive reviews or write-ups from a judge on this year's panel. And a fan amongst the judges, pushing your book forward is exactly what a long-listed book needs to get there. Although there are sure to be more than 13 books that the judges collectively like. So this is far from a rubber stamp. But nonetheless, we know that these 2 books will definitely be part of the conversation and potentially called in if their publishers don't nominate them. So here are the 16 books that make up BookTube's Booker Dozen. And I think if we've learnt anything from this little whimsical video, it's that the Booker Prize should produce a bigger long list. Obviously, subscribe to this channel if you're not already and like this video, but also remember I've linked the other BookTubers to make prediction videos in the description. I've also linked to their videos, so please go check them out, especially the ones you're unfamiliar with. And I'm sure while I'm editing this video, somebody will post a new prediction video, ensuring that this video is out of date before it's posted. And in the event that that happens, look in the description and I will include updates as to what is our BookTube Booker Dozen and some links to some extra videos. I'd like to thank my wonderful Patreons for their support. The major perk of signing up to Patreon, other than supporting this channel, is our bi-monthly book club and video chat. If you'd like to join our book club, our next 3 reads are The Bastard of Istanbul, Sweet Bean Paste, and Leonard and Hungry Paul, while we're currently voting on the next book at the moment. Thank you so much for watching. Happy reading. Bye bye.